Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Egg and Baby in the morning. We're trying something a little new today. We set up a little playpen in the office. Hey baby. Hey baby, she's going crazy. So you might hear some bells ringing. I'll be turning around to make sure that she's okay at periodic intervals. She's got soft mattress, all sorts of, cool toys and stuff in there. They're not really my scene, but what do I know? In particular, you might hear the crinkling of what sounds like a garbage bag. HGYA TBT2. If you are naming your company, I would not recommend naming it that. It's hard to say. TBT2. Sounds like a droid from Star Wars. I know what I said. WARS. Yes, you might hear some crinkling back there. All the baby toys. There's a good bit for you. What about a stand-up comedian who only talks about baby toys? That could work. You know, when we were a kid, baby toys went like this. A rattle, 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 rattle. Now baby toys, the modern generation, they go like this. Audience cheers uproariously. You know what my favorite part of a stand-up comedy sketch, not sketch, but set is? Oh, my favorite part is when the cat, who was in the room earlier and wanted to leave, now wants to come back. Hello, my son. Now I'm supervising you. Tomo, if you could please just enter your box. Your box, please, Tomo. The safe area sequestered from baby. There you go. Well done. Now that is a good boy. My favorite part of a stand-up comedy set is when you have like an angry stand-up comedian. Tomo, get out of the freaking wires! Oh my God, Tomo, we can't do this today. Okay, my son. Like it's too much. It's too much. Get in the box. The chaos. You're gonna make me miss boss rush, Tomo. Tomo, I'm gonna miss boss rush. There you go. Just get in there. Oh my freaking God, man. If anybody's not been watching the streams, we'll get back to the stand-up comedian bit. It's a good one, I promise. It's at least a 4 out of 10. That was a nasty hit. Ever since I set up my new microphone, and this is the sort of thing that should be troubleshooted, but just to be honest with you, I don't really know what the troubleshooting issue is. Tomo sometimes gets into the cords behind the computer, and he turns around with such incredible speed and force that he can temporarily jostle some of the USBs out of the port. When they plug in again and reinitialize, they don't get picked up by OBS, which is really bad because it means that my camera and my mic usually are bugged out in OBS. So I gotta keep him away from the... I mean, you shouldn't be in the cords to begin with, my man. Pointy rib, not so bad. My favorite part of a stand-up comedy sketch is when you get, an angry stand-up comedian whose whole, their whole set is just them being, upset at things. And then they finish a bit where they're like, how stupid can you be? And then the audience, they're killing themselves laughing. It's the funniest thing they've ever heard. And then they have to do the hard pivot into so my wife and I had our first kid last week, and then the audience is like, oh, woo! He's not just a curmudgeon. Look at that. He's got a little baby as well. I love when the audience has to applaud the comedian for a life milestone. It's just part of the language of stand-up comedy, right? You understand as the audience, you have a role. Your role is to clap when they tell you that, they just got married or something like that. It's a pantomime. You know what a pantomime is? It's one of those plays, I think, where the performers on stage ask the audience for stuff. There might be some kind of like a thief will come in and like steal something, and then, you know, a nice old lady will come out and be like, did anyone see where he went? And then You know, everyone's pointing, like, to the left. And then she goes, to the right? And everyone's like, no, dummy! Are you stupid? To the left? What? Behind me? Are you insane? Are you daft? Everybody's pointing in a different direction, lady. Oh, over here? And then, you know, the play is allowed to proceed from that point forward. I'm very stoked, obviously, DPS-wise. Having a wonderful time here. I would like to. Honestly, I would like to. I think we're about to get a library raid here, though. Which is truly wonderful news. And probably means that this run is won. I don't mean to make it seem like this wasn't the hardest run of all time. I mean, we're 4 minutes in. Maybe act like you've been there before. But, there was risk involved. There was risk involved when we took those deals with the devil, despite things being blind. Hey, baby. Hello, baby. Bible. How to jump. So we got Bookworm. I would not say it's a one run, actually. I would go back on what I previously said. I will take the Bible temporarily and use it to grab the item. I was gonna use How to Jump, but it's much more, finicky, for sure. I almost just walked right into the spikes. Hey, you know, I think Dogtooth is a little overrated. But that, like I said 2 videos ago, that doesn't mean it's bad. And then I think we'll stick with Book of Belial. How to Jump is a little too, like, it's a little too wrinkly brain for me, you know what I mean? I think, baby, hello, I gotta be honest, I think Mommy was right. I think that part of the reason you were fussing with Daddy is because Daddy's office is so boring, right? Smells of rich mahogany and leather-bound books, and always trying to tell you about arbitrage and, you know, 5-year beta and stuff like that. That's not what a baby's interested in. You know what a baby's interested in? Crinkle, crinkle, crinkle. Can you blame him? I'd give anything to go back to the crinkle being the currency of my entertainment. Nowadays, I'm like, oh, a $100 million movie with people at the height of their profession all working together to provide 2 hours of tightly edited entertainment? I don't think so. 6-second video of a kid doing backflips in a Krispy Kreme and then accidentally kicking the sign? Magnificent. Baby. Uh-oh. Or maybe not, I don't know, because she do be fussing, there's no doubt about that. I do not wish to use the Emperor card. Not yet. It would be better to save this for a later time. For a time where, even just, I think we should not worry about the Emperor card getting us to the boss fight. Unless the run gets so fast that we're like, yeah, we'd love to skip, like, the Womb 1 or something like that. I think that what we're really looking for here is, an opportunity to just use it as a teleport card. That's my take on this subject. Are there enemies? Oh, there they are. Do I know you? No, but that's where you are. You're there. So that's actually the worst Austin Powers impression of all time. I was talking about this on stream on Monday, by the way. I talk about Austin Powers now and then. I got strong opinions, obviously. But, you know, the most controversial pieces of art require the strongest of opinions, I think. So it's fitting. In Austin Powers, I think it's Austin Powers 2. When Austin Powers drinks fat B words, poop. Gross scene, obviously. You know, nobody's like, oh, he drank the poop. That's funny. I don't know if that's what it's intended. Maybe it is. Everybody's like, ooh, that's disgusting, right? And also, how does Austin Powers not know what coffee smells like and what coffee? I mean, he does. Actually, that's not true because he does say this coffee smells like you know what. And then Basil Exposition says, Austin, it is you know what. But I don't know anything about interior design at all, as mentioned. It's a recurring theme this week. But the aesthetics of the beaker that he pours the poop out of is incredible to me. I must own one for myself. You could water plants with it, you could steep tea in that. I don't even drink tea, but the design of the device is so pleasing to the eye innately that it makes me wanna start, you know? Okay, so I'm gonna be like I'm gonna go back on my words, and we're just gonna walk in here and immediately destroy this enemy. And I mean, everything's pretty much set in stone on this one. And that, you couldn't ask for more than that. The only thing I'm kind of like, and I wouldn't even say I'm like upset by it at all, but we're really low on bombs. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not gonna sit here and say like, oh, if we had bombs, we'd be going to secret rooms thanks to Dogtooth. I will, you know, it is, I would never try to deny the hypocrisy innate in my Isaac play. For some reason, I look for secret rooms when I don't have Dogtooth, and then when I have Dogtooth, I'm like, nah, they suck. It really it doesn't make logical sense, it doesn't stand up to scrutiny, and it's, you know, something we should maybe endeavor to change, although not on this run because of what I was going to talk about. We don't have any bombs. We've only popped one Tinted Rock, I think. It ended up being Small Rock, which is exactly what you want, but still, you know, you're like, come on. Give me a little bit more here. But I don't think there's really at this point, there's really a good reason to do full exploration. We're pretty much locked in here. Tons of keys, nothing wrong with that, tons of keys. As Clips said, keys open doors. You may remember that. I'm gonna do one more room. I think I'm gonna get a bomb here. I feel like I'm destined for bomb actualization. I'm hoping we can get these guys to maybe locomote into the secret room path. Nope. Okay, maybe on this one. I'm like, they're gonna come. Oh, they've split. Next time, maybe. Really? You know, life's short. I've decided in actuality, I'm not sure that I actually care that much. But, we could always buy a bomb. Or alternatively, because this run is, like, unbelievably won already, we could just, get the heck out of town. What do you think? What do you think? Crinkle, crinkle, that's what she thinks. I would say this is working a treat so far. I mean, I remember for sure, like, you know, I don't remember being a baby. That's a little, ridiculous, but remember being, you know, a kid, and sometimes, you know, as a kid you don't really understand, but like, you know, your parents have like errands to run or appointments or stuff like that, so sometimes, you know, they'll drop you off at like your mom's office or your dad's office or whatever. Always liked being at my mom's office. You know, I could like, you know, just kind of walk around, look at the, you know, someone pick up the phone and it would go, and you're like, that's cool. My dad's office, usually he was just like, and by the way, this is not a dereliction of dadly duty. You know, he's got work to do. He'd be like, hey, you know, we got like this empty room. Why don't you just go like sit in here and read the official PlayStation magazine? And I was like, that's Pog. Thanks for the Pog, Dad. Just different vibes. I realize I've recreated my father's office. There is. And this is by design to begin with, but there's no entertainment devices for babies in here by default. Except for the microphone, apparently. Which is a universally loved baby device. We do now have 8 bombs. I would say this points to the secret room. What did I tell you? Trying to buck that trend of never opening secret rooms. Are we on depths? Depths 1, okay. Honey? Homie? You doing okay in there? I think you're having a good time right now. You learn to distinguish the baby grunts, okay? There's like, that's not a good one. That's a bad one. Oh my god, this is a good one though. And then there's kind of like, which is like, oh yeah. I'm picking up what she's putting down. I think that's a good one, honestly. I think that grunt is like, it's thank you for the playpen, father. Thank you for the crinkles. And you know what? You're welcome. Anything for my princess. It's from the room. I've never felt older and more out of touch with the internet than when I was playing, I think I was playing Sir Bronte, a cool little indie adventure game. And I said, but you are my future wife. And everyone went, well, not everyone, but like 80% of chat went, Ryan, question mark, Kate, question mark, Ryan, Kate, question mark. I was like, people don't know the room anymore, man. It's passed out of public consciousness for Zoomers of a certain age. I think we could just leave, honestly. Like, the run continues to just get better and better. And we still have the Emperor card, dude. We can use that to escape from Boss Rush. This is, I mean, unbelievably great. But you know, it's the way of the world. I was telling, you know, sometimes I have like event session with some friends of mine who work in the industry. And we just pop into the Discord and we're like, we always start by saying like just venting. Like yesterday, I had to pop in and say just venting, but like sometimes the Souls community is kind of like a little annoying for me. I started a Dark Souls randomizer run, where you literally start with random loot. You don't control the loot that you start with, essentially. I died once, and the first comment I saw was like, why is he choosing to run a mid-roll build when he could be rolling an agile build? He doesn't have enough poise to make this mid-roll build viable. It's just like, I don't even, like, I didn't respond to it, I think, on stream, but it's just like, that's the kind of thing you compartmentalize in your brain, and then later you're like, oh, I'm gonna complain about this guy. At 4:05 p.m., I'm gonna pop into my safe space, and I'm gonna be like, get a load of this guy, right? And I was saying, like, you know, I always try to remind myself that, like, on the internet, you don't know how old somebody is, and I feel like a lot, like, this morning, I saw, like, Tony Hawk posted something on Twitter, and then somebody said, I don't care about this, Tony, I don't like you, I'm a street skater. And then somebody was like, why are you being so rude? And the person replied, whatever, you just hate me because I'm a 16-year-old kid and I'm hustling with 2 jobs. And I was like, all right, you know, there's no reason to be mad about that. It's a 16-year-old kid. You know, if a 16-year-old kid, like, punched me in the face and, like, stole my wallet or something like that, I'd be mad. But if they just kind of have, like, some weirdly, like, bad or edgy opinions, I'm like, that's the age, you know? That's... I'm trying to think of the render onto Caesar, that which is Caesar's. Is, I guess, what I'm trying to say. That's the reference I'm trying to pull there. You know, the currency of teenagers, along with, you know, Bitcoin and American dollars, is, you know, opinions that they don't always have the life experience to back up. Sometimes they do, though, admittedly. So I try to remember, like, you know, a lot of people online, you know, if you read some stuff that you're like, man, I would never type that, maybe you would have typed that, you know, 10 years ago or 15 years ago or 20 years ago when you were that age. But I was telling them, I'm like, man, when I read something like really, like, outright rude or ignorant, I don't get mad, really, unless I know that the person is, like, close to my age. And then I'm just, it's not even being mad as, like, how dare you say that to me? It's more like, man, like, what are you doing? I think we can definitely do this. But anyway, I'm not trying to make it into that sort of thing. I'm just like, you know, you always got to remember online. It's no people, in my opinion, in their, you know, early to mid 30s, which is what I'm approaching here, should be dedicating, you know, any presence of their online community to, like, of their presence online, I should say, to just, like, making people upset, just to be like, haha, check it out, I made you upset. That's, like, just downright pathetic, quite frankly. But the flip side of that is you also, you know, you gotta, especially as a streamer, work hard to not be the streamer who's constantly getting baited by, like, you know, 14-year-olds in chat who are like, haha, you got a big bald head. And I could always do better with that, for sure. I think everybody could always do better, but yeah, there's some arbitrage there. There's some 5-year beta there. Right, baby? I'm having a great time on the randomizer, though. We got quite a calm randomizer so far. No super difficult boss encounters. We've had some super difficult bosses, but they've largely, like, fallen off the edge, which is... In fact, now that I'm like... I don't want to spoil anything because the VODs haven't come to YouTube yet, but... I'm trying to think. I've definitely legitimately beaten a boss. But I also think 3 bosses minimum have fallen off of the map. Which is actually like, you might take it as like a little cheesy, but it's actually really sick. Because like a lot of the, you're gonna encounter some really, really difficult boss fights in a randomizer to begin with. To have some of them just like die naturally is actually, now that I think about it, it's fair, I should say, but you know, you take the good with the bad with the randomizer, you know? And then now I think about, I've actually killed, like 4 bosses have fallen off, but I've killed 2 the normal way, I think. And it's not like I can't really stop them from falling off, you know? Like, when you got Manus on the Taurus Demon Bridge, like, he can barely even fit up there. This run is, dare I say, this run is like almost over already. It's a very, very gentle run, a nice one. Like I mean, it's very rare for me to possibly have completed an Isaac run before 9:30 in the morning. I slept crazy well last night too. I normally, and this is not like you know, just an old age thing or whatever. Because honestly, I'm, you know, having the time of my life. But, you know, cats wake you up, baby wakes you up. You know, Kate's got to get up to do some, you know, food supply management in the middle of the night, etc., etc. You know, when she comes back to bed, she might wake you up. There's no getting around it. I think I actually slept, like, steady. No, now I'm remembering. Wait a minute. No, I didn't. I was up for, like, half an hour at 2 a.m. But I think that's one of the things about sleep. If you don't remember, let me put it this way. I would be interested to see like a psychological study of this. I wonder, and maybe it's already been done. Here's what, and I'm not a, you know, I'm not a good designer of scientific experiments, so work with me on this one. See if you can at least get to the spirit of the idea. Here's the genesis for my hypothesis. When I think I slept well, I feel better. Like if I didn't set the clocks back properly for daylight savings or something like that, and in my head I thought that I slept for an hour longer than I did, if you never told me to correct that, I think I would just feel like I had 8 hours of sleep instead of 7 or 6 instead of 5 or whatever. I wonder, so my hypothesis is, I wonder if, and I have a hunch, of course, but I wonder if your perception of how well you sleep actually influences how, you know, what your mood is like on a day-to-day basis. Like, for example, if you put some people in, like, a sleep lab with no clocks and stuff like that, and then you woke them up after 8 hours and told them they slept for 4 hours, and then asked them how they felt, like, you know, gave them a questionnaire, versus, like, if you had them sleep for 4 hours and told them it was 8 hours, versus if you had them sleep for 8 hours and then you told them it was 8 hours, right? I bet you would find that people who know or believe that they should be tired, and this is not how science, you're not supposed to put your own, you know, bias in here, but my personal belief, as the luxury of a layperson here, is that if you believe you're tired, you're more likely to feel tired. It seems intuitive for sure, but, you know, that's the thing about science, I guess. A lot of the things that seem intuitive or unintuitive can surprise you. I think that's true for sure. Like, just honestly, I felt so good this morning, and then remembering that I was up for half an hour between like 2 and 2:30 last night, I'm like, oh, you know what? Actually, I think I do. Yeah, my nose is a little dry, which is a telltale sign of tiredness for me, is when I start, like, you know, get a lot of the cat hair, and I start, like, pulling on the nostrils and stuff like that, and I start sniffling. Oh, you see that? Yeah, jeez, man. We're onto something here. So how would we turn that into an action item for either like business or you know, society? It's very simple. What about an alarm clock that always tells you slept for 8 hours? It connects to a wearable piece of tech. When it senses that you're waking up, it changes its time to look like it's 8 hours ahead of where it senses that you fell asleep. That way you like wake up and you're like, whoa, what the heck? It's pitch black, but it says it's 10 a.m. God, geez, I'm late for work. Alright, maybe the idea is not that good, but I'd still be interested to know the results of the study, right? Hey, baby. Hello, baby. I think this is a happy baby. I hear her jingling the... There's a toy in there with the bell as well. There's a book. I put a copy of Benjamin Graham's The Intelligent Investor in there just to see if she might be able to understand more of it than I do. I don't think she's gone for that yet. Oh, she's using it as a diaper. Okay, alright, well... You know, hey, baby, everyone's got opinions, okay? Look, 22-minute run, that was a good one. Couple of things, Northernlion.shop. The merch run is almost over. If you want to buy merch, you should check on it. That's my advice. And if you can't make it on this one, there will be more in the future. Apart from that, thanks for watching. Twitch.tv/Northernlion. Follow me, I'm live every day but Saturday. Thanks for watching, I'll see you next time. See ya!